Mm-hmm.
And
As to the Creator, everything running, peace and love, eternal love.
peace and love,
Mm-hmm.
eternal love.
Yep. As we open our community council meeting
Mm-hmm.
for all to hear,
Right on.
we open in the name of Allah.
Right on. Beautiful name.
Yes.
A
Yes.
loving name.
Yes. What people have been calling God.
Yeah. It ain't just God.
Yeah. So
That ain't sufficient enough.
right. There are sciences that go with life.
Right on.
Earth ain't made without science.
That's right.
Science is another word for knowing.
That's right.
As you mentioned, the organs, that takes a knowing.
That's
Someone
right.
put that intelligence in the cells
That's
for
right.
it to operate on its own self-intelligence.
Ain't that beautiful? Ain't that beautiful?
You got certain cells that live in the foot, they don't move.
Look at that.
You cells that live in the brain, they don't move.
Look at
So cells are appointed, they're appointed office.
Mm-hmm.
And they have their special dwelling.
Mm-hmm.
But see, if we get to know the source, then we know all.
Oh, right on. How beautiful that is.
Yes, we can know all.
And most folks don't care to know the source. It's though like they are the source, but they're not. And I want to remind them that just because you done went to school and learned your ABC and know how to spell your name and know your social security number and your phone number, that's insufficient. That ain't good enough. There's more.
That's not.
Let's learn what makes you tick. Not the clock, but the organs that's inside. I'll start it off, Super 46. The choice. El-Kurya. One, O you who believe, let it be said as Sabur, as Sabu. Two, timeless, the patient. Three, and the 41st name of Allah, the infinite, the unique, the all-knowing. Know it all. Do you know it all? And if not, you need to be studied. 4, the left or the right, the up or the down. Can you bear witness to that what just been read? Left, right, up and down.
All choices.
All choices. People in life, with their life, they go left, which is wrong, but they won't go right, which is right. They take a left turn, they take a right turn. Now, where they hit it, I couldn't tell you. Up and down.
And that's what Al Sufyan is bringing the way.
Yep. And I'm just talking with some people in life been just that way. Left and right and up and down. 5, the day or the night, to leaving or remain. Sounds just like your life, don't it? Day and night. You're leaving, going here, and you're going there, and sometimes you remain where you're at. Your life sounds just like what I'm reading. 6, the giving or taking, the good or the bad. Giving. If you ain't giving, you're taking. The good or the bad. How beautiful that is. Do you practice good or do you practice bad? Is your will good or your will bad? Are your intentions good or your intentions bad? It's all about choice. Seven, the honor or dishonor. The discipline or lack of it. My. We know what the outcome on that. They call manners. Do you respect the elders or you dishonor? Are your morals bad? Are they good? Do you have discipline about yourself?
To stick to those morals that you have.
Right on, sister. Stick to it like glue. You stick to the bad, but you won't stick to the good. 8, all are manifestation of choice.
There you go, right there.
All, the day, the night, the leaving, the remain, the left, the right, the up, the down, the giving, are you taking, stealing, are you giving or are you stealing, the good or the bad. And look, just take a look around you and tell me what you see out there in the society. Not only with yourself, but with others as well. Can you identify the good? Can you identify the bad? Can you identify the honor? Can you identify the dishonor? All is being manifest of choice.
Now, before you go further, as a grammar, did we catch that the word "and" is not inconclusive with each or?
That's right.
The opposite of "and" is "or."
Yeah.
And we don't see no "and"
in it. It's
the
all
left and the right.
That's right.
So when it says, let your right hand do what it's doing and let your left hand know not what the right hand is doing.
Yeah.
Now that parable should make sense.
Yeah.
It's talking about choice.
Yep.
You have a choice always.
No matter if you think you're going against one choice, you still making another choice. Like, is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that you have free will. It's telling you have free will.
You always make a choice.
You gonna choose.
That's right.
And your choose is between the ors.
That's right.
And that's what you were saying like earlier today about consciousness. like being able to be conscious of those choices, because it's like most people becoming unconscious of choosing.
Right. This is what makes you conscious.
Yeah.
So if you don't have no choice, that means you got to do it by force.
Oh boy, that ain't good.
So even Allah says that if you are worth nothing if you surrender your choice. Meaning you can, or someone saying something, there's a or. Someone could be saying the left side of something.
Yep.
This is why also the parable, if we studied it, said you can't serve two masters.
Oh, come on with it.
Okay? So for studiers, we know we heard this. A fountain can't spit forth both waters that's bitter and sweet.
Right on.
So we speaking about something here. The tongue is what we gotta understand what's in between.
Yes, indeed.
The tongue is in between the mouth, the two lips for a reason.
Yes, indeed.
And as the
Top and bottom.
yes, as the scripture said, all scriptures that are of divine inspiration says that the tongue is the hardest to tame. So when we're speaking about the tongue, now the tongue either is going to stay solid in its honor or it's going to go into its dishonor.
Yeah.
Everybody is known by the choices they make.
That's right.
Can't no one hide from anyone once you
right.
know consciousness.
That's right.
We reading steps of sciences here. And I hope everyone is catching as you go along. You just build up from free will. Free will was telling you this is what prompts everything. That there's a reason and a motive of action. So there's a reason why people leave and why people stay.
Right.
It's a reason why people go and why people come. These are choices. Choices to leave or choices to remain. What's harder than making a choice?
Oh.
So if you, like the black people in America, you gonna make a choice to just surrender your life being
Yeah.
and just let someone rule over you your whole life, make your time,
Yeah.
when you leave,
Yeah.
when you come and do all your life experiences? Or was that given by a greater force?
Yes, indeed. And you can see that where people have taken over your life, like merchants and money lenders and companies, because of the fact that they have taken over your choice. What I meant by that, say for instance, you gotta be where they're at 8 o'clock, and you gotta stay there for 8 to 9 hours. See, this is a choice. Now, are you in control of this choice, or someone else is in control? So we gotta be real cautious and careful of the choices that we make. And it's gonna either be good or bad, or it's gonna be honor or dishonor. And we know about discipline. So this is what all this is about. And you know we must have discipline. Because when we don't have discipline, don't y'all see the results? It's all out of order. All out of order. And I think I read a scripture that says, let everything be done decently and in order. The old crooked judge and that old crooked court system that they got everybody under. What did he say? First thing he said, order in the court. He can't handle their business affair without ordering the court. Ordering your life as well. Remember, it takes people to run the court. So we got to have order in our life in order to get to the court. And if you have order, then you won't be going to court for anything. That's where that discipline come in, with the good and the bad. And everything behind good and bad has a consequence.
It keep referring back to the free will,
Yep.
the choice. And that's very important, the choice. Ain't nothing ever taken away from you.
No.
You keep making the choice. Anybody can stay on the path to the Creator. It's a choice.
That's right.
I make this choice every day I wake up to do what I'm doing. What you seeing and hearing on screen is just not one day.
That's right.
I wake up by choice and choose to do exactly what I'm choosing. This is the gift of making heaven on earth. You can make any manifestation happen right now through choice.
Yeah.
Then just pay attention how a choice is choosing.
9. Verily, it is our choice whether to believe or not to believe in Allah.
That's the powerful part right there.
Don't we have people that believe in the Creator and don't we have people that don't believe in the Creator?
Yes.
Well, guess what?
They expose.
One thing I do know. You believe in something. Now, it might not be the divine Creator, but you believe in something. You believe in wrongdoing, because we have a truckload of that people do in their daily life, wrongful doing. No respect, no honor. That's what it says in 7.
Now, I hope we understand what this is saying. Because each line, as it says, is written with law and logic.
Yep.
And so all you got to do is just really contemplate what is being said.
Yeah.
If that's the Creator, and the Creator creates this creation and give you the free will to either believe.
Yeah.
So the atheist, is he wrong? Is anybody wrong? This is what we're trying to get to. Did you see wrong up here? It's a lot of oils. Did you see wrong?
You say good or bad.
Good or bad? So we saying
right.
right. So if the Creator says, I don't care, even if you believe in me, or if you believe in me not. Now, isn't this the greatest choice? If y'all ain't recognizing, this is why man want to play God. See, but a physical vessel can never play God. See, because it's all a choice. But the choice lies in the belief.
Yep.
This is what we really want to point out. Everybody is choosing what they believe.
Yeah.
So this is what the play, this is why they don't like being such as myself who arise and expose the truth, because the truth now expose all.
Yep.
Because this is the time that truth has to be sanctified. And this ain't for this is for the future generations to come. They gonna have some power to work with.
Yeah.
And so with this power to work with, you're going to see it's called belief.
Yeah.
Belief is what propels your choice.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't believe in Allah myself, I would not do and choose what I choose every day when I'm awake. That's because I believe. And then after belief, I can choose to do the things I believe in. Do you do the same thing? This is alerting you that you have the ability, and your ability is to believe. And if you believe anything, you are making a choice. And you can even choose to not believe in the Creator.
Right on. People do that too.
So this is what I'm bringing into retrospection to, then who got power? All governments crash with this statement.
Yeah.
Everybody that's suffering is released from suffering. Everyone in debt is released from debt. Everyone incarcerated is free from incarceration. But many men don't want people, human spirits, to know this. Why do a lot of false speakers do not want people to know this? You got a right to be in existence.
That's right.
If so, you wouldn't be in existence. So choice, let's just keep that in mind as the greater the move through choice and belief.
Yeah. Ten. It is our choice to obey or disobey his crystal clear commandment. Not muddy, but it made it crystal clear. Obey or disobey.
Or not and.
Now,
Can't serve two masters.
when you look at obedience, that's like thereof. People just don't have obedience about themselves no more now. All I see is disobey. And they don't even believe in no commandment. The word command, that's mandatory. But look at you. Have no respect for a law commandment. But if the boss tell you to be to work such a time, you on time. And Allah gave you a commandment, but you don't even listen to it. I'm wondering, do they realize why they have 2 ears to hear and an ear on each side of the head? Ain't no excuse. The left ear, the right ear. Ain't no excuse. And that's why we have all the commotion going on that's so wrongdoing, because whichever level you look at it, whether it's federal, state, local, or whatever the case may be, no one is keeping Allah's commandment. And that's why you have all this killing going on. It's just a mess. You could name anything, it's a mess thereof. This is why. Obedience.
So from Adam to Eve, Was that disobeying, or was that the choice to obey? So that story should tell everyone
Right on.
they are their own enemy
There you go.
by choosing the choice
That's right.
to obey.
Or disobey. Yeah, right on.
You can't do both.
That's right.
You can't obey and disobey. That is not in the
Yeah.
laws of the universe.
That's right. Which one will it be?
Because remember, all this is playing out in mind.
Yeah.
So your mind is making choices from the beliefs that's in the mind
That's right.
before any physical action is taken. So the action is being taken on a higher plane before it comes on the lower plane for observation.
11 says, it is our choice to wake up or remain asleep.
Truth exposed.
Truth exposed, huh? I think we all is awake this morning. And then someone go back to sleep. Wake up to the truth or remain asleep to falsehood. This is our problem. If you don't awake to the truth, you're going to remain asleep in falsehood, deception, lies, you name it. You can claim it.
It's all a choice.
It's all choice.
That's where it gets so beautiful. So we see now, with truth being exposed, that people are choosing to remain asleep.
Yeah.
Oh, you getting the knock.
Yeah.
Do you hear the knock?
Yeah.
So do you choose to not answer?
Yeah.
Or do you choose to answer?
Who is it?
So let's take it now to the self. Is the self going to obey the higher? Or is self going to obey the lower? Is self going to disobey the higher?
Here we go.
Is self going to disobey the lower?
Here we go.
This is what is called the science of self. Choosing. You are down here to know who you are.
Right on.
Through the choices you make.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is the most beautiful part that we have not yet to discover, because people been trying to tell you how you got here. People been trying to tell you how your life began.
Yeah.
People been trying to tell you all type of things since you've been in this existence. But what have you found out about yourself? Do you in yourself have the ability to choose? So where does this source point for choice begins? Because you notice that we ain't talking about choosing to put on your shoes or choosing what store you gonna stop to or what restaurant you gonna eat at or what you gonna shop. See, all this is talking about higher states. Up is a higher state.
Yep.
Down is a different state than up.
Yes, indeed.
You can make choices that take you in different directions in life.
Right on.
You can go left
Right on.
just by making a choice of going left. Just like driving. When you need to turn left, what you do?
You turn left.
You turn left.
You turn right. You turn right.
So now when it comes to your spirit,
Oh,
we're learning how to spirit travel.
Yeah.
So how you spirit travel is through choice. This is how you travel through the spiritual realm.
Right on.
And so this is what they didn't want us to wake up to. Our own self. They replaced that with God.
Yeah.
Our ancients didn't never declare self to be God. That's a misquote.
Yeah.
This is what we have to understand. What is the science of it? Because this is what gives you the knowing of it. And so there's 144 sciences to your spirit self.
Right on.
And that's why we on the 46th science right now.
Beautiful. 12. It is your own conduct which will lead you to reward or punishment.
So it ain't on nobody else.
Ain't no blaming game. It's the man in the mirror.
See, no scapegoat. You don't need, all my believers that believe in Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your own conduct,
Right.
which will lead you to a reward or punishment. Which one will it be? Will it be a good reward or will it be punishment? It's your choice. Remember, good or the bad, reward or punishment.
You conducting it.
It ain't just the man that on the train that Mr. Conductor. You the conductor of your life that you live. And this how precious it is, because we've been given a beautiful gift, the gift of life. And now, and with that life that's been given, there's a conduct that comes along with it.
The action following that mind.
Punishment. Let's just pause for the cause here a minute and just look at the peoples who breaks man's law. What happened? He'll punish you by taking you to jail and lock you up, set up a date and time for you to go to his court. And then he will sentence you to whatever according to his rules and his policies and whatever that's fitting that he has set up. Now this just on man's level. I'm just kind of giving you an example so you can kind of look. What about the divine creator level now? What did he say? A reward and punishment. Do the divine creator throw you in the jailhouse? No. You do it yourself. He don't operate that way. I'm just dealing with man and the divine creator. I'm just kind of showing you the difference in the operator.
And that's why you don't believe in man.
Right on.
Don't you ever come down here as a spirit
Right on.
and believe in man.
Right on.
This is what has been, forcefully beaten into the minds of the people
Yeah.
by becoming believers
Yeah.
of such of a savior
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah.
And this has created the worship of men,
Yeah.
from government status
Yeah.
to superstar status
Yeah.
to a person can just dribble a ball,
Yeah.
and these people are just flabbergasted.
Yeah.
The worship of man is the crime down here.
Mm-hmm.
We talking about big brothers, elder people, anybody older than you. You do not worship man.
Right on.
It don't matter if they 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 years. They all come from the same source that created you. And this is what the understanding is, understanding the science of self. You have heard talks from preachers and you never got talks about self. You always were taught Jesus in place of self. You was taught God in place of self.
Yeah.
You was taught how to blame in place of self.
Yeah.
There's nothing outside of self but make believe. There's nothing that exists that you have to make up. If man have to make up anything, then he is unconscious. As we see, choice is the manifestation, meaning it already exists.
That's right.
Just to have a thought alone shows you have a choice already. And so when it comes to idolatry, this is what it's meaning by idolatry. That you take the idea and you worship this idea and you make an object out of it called a person. A spirit is not a person. A person is a legal fiction, and a legal fiction is a fictional character. Allah has no fiction in him. So there's no make-believe in Allah. You believe it or not. We hear it right now. Anything you say to anybody, they can believe it or not.
Right on.
Allah has placed in every individual a right called free will, that you have the right to not believe or you have the right to believe. And this is why it's telling you your own choice, your own conduct is what your reward will be or your punishment will be. You would not get rewarded and punished at the same time.
That's right.
Allah don't serve two masters. Allah never forgets Allah. So self should never forget self. And when self forgets self, it start worshiping things outside of self, especially called man. And man is known as a female and a woman. They are both. One man and male man. But who have came into existence and have stayed for the entire existence. Not even the greatest of men, as the prophets, are still here to this day. They came and walked this earth just as you came and walked this earth, because you was made by your creator. They made a choice to follow the clear commandments given from their consciousness. And thank for them, they had sense enough to know that the future would need this. Because people will manifest and begin to take the concepts and begin to make those concepts into objects and have man running around with his head cut off, not knowing himself. And this is due to all the scriptural teachings that have been received up to these points. There have not been any reconciliation between any spiritual doctrines. All these doctrines are held by certain groups but the truth is ever present. The truth don't respect groups, and it don't respect the person. When it's talking about spirit of the law and not the letter of the law, that is talking about the divine. They have corrupted the divine and turned it into something spirit.
Yep.
When you are the living paradox, and these sciences is helping to reveal to all who believes. This, you can't do nothing without first having the belief. So that's all I got to say.
13. As if you had been destined. 14. Therefore, be persistent in good action. The good and the bad. Have you observed the people being persistent in bad and wrongdoing? Oh, yes, you have. Just take a look around and tell me what you see. It speaks for itself. Good action. Bad action. With all the killing going on, that ain't good action, that's bad action. And if anybody say they stand behind bad action, you better check the box, baby. I don't care what name. If they doing bad, you don't stand behind them and support nobody doing that. But this is what we have today. This is what we have today. 15. Verily, nothing is predetermined within the universe. Said nothing is predetermined within the universe.
Yes. And that's the truth exposed.
Yep.
So anybody setting wages, boundaries, cuffing your existence is unconscious and worship man. Because there's something in you that you should know that is wrong. Someone to have something predetermined in the whole big space of the universe. To say you're going to be tormented, thrown in hell for committing sin. These are words we hear in societies that was built by people who say these words. They say everything is predetermined in the universe. And that's just stupid and idiotic. A man with logic knows he don't know his time of hour.
That's right.
So what on earth will have you to believe another man to tell you gonna die? This is what we call the advent of worshiping man. When you worship man, you create the gravest sin against the creator who created all. Who is all law. Just as you is real, Allah is real. Just as you are experiencing all these choices, that's because Allah exists. You didn't have a choice to plant the trees. You didn't have a choice to bring the chemical composition. You wouldn't think about a tree giving you oxygen.
Wouldn't even think about that.
You try to breathe money. Throwing away the greatness of yourself. If there's no I in self. So I must understand why it has a self. You are not invisible. You are indeed visible. If you hear this voice, you are indeed visible. So why is I visible? When you come and get the deep teachings,
Yeah.
not the surface teachings that you've been hearing over 100 years.
Yeah. Serpent teaching, that's right. That's why we have the mess we have, because of the serpent teaching. See? It's self-explanatory.
It's self-explanatory. After the time done passed.
That's what's going on.
So that's good for us to know that nothing is predetermined in the universe.
Yeah. And yet, when we look at predetermined, look at companies. They want to tell you what time you come to work, what time you get off, and every day of the week, and every month of the year. They already have you predetermined. 4th of July is predetermined. Thanksgiving is predetermined. Christmas is predetermined. Easter is predetermined. The list goes on. And you jump right on this merry-go-round. And you just go round and round and round and round.
And
They set you up for 40 hours of work. Who set you up? Man. He has all your time. The divine creator has none of it. But yet he created you, but somehow, some way you've been swindled out of your life. And now man has it. But you breathe. You just breathing in the body, but somebody else has control of your body. Think on that a little bit while I move to the next scripture. If it be so, then no will would Allah possess. 17. There's the tricky Persian seek to dash hope upon the rock of absolute. The Persian 18, to deny our ability to determine our destiny. Deny you free choice. Deny you what you're supposed to be doing each and every day. Your mind have been hijacked. And you don't even realize it. You about like Lazarus asleep in your own grave, your own body. Your living body have become a graveyard. You turn it into a graveyard when it's supposed to be alive and well, living.
It's just what it begins with understanding.
Oh yes.
Because you can't live it if you don't understand it.
19. Everything in the universe is based upon learning as well as experiencing. Everything in the universe is based upon learning. Do you know about everything that you see? You see the grass, you see the birds, you see the bees, you see the moon, you see the sun. Do you know of those sources? Have you learned of those sources? or you don't bother to care about it, or you just look up and see it and move on. There's a reason why the clouds is above your head. There's a reason why the sun is above your head. There's a reason why the moon is above your head. I guess you don't even care to learn. You just see it and that's it. 24. Truly, before we can learn, we need to learn how to learn. Okay, right there, let's just pause for the cause. Do you know that most what everybody learns is bad on their mind, their body, and their health? And this is why so many people, health is bad. So many people, mind is bad. And this is the result because you think you know, but you don't know. You know, went to school, watch this. You know, went to kindergarten, middle school, high school, college, and learned what you learned in school. And just look at your condition now. What I'm trying to get to you is that, say to you is that what you learned is insufficient. And that's why you have the problem that you have in life. Because what you think you done learned is bad. If you're gonna learn something, let it be truthful and of the divine creator. Anything opposite of that is detrimental to your health. One more verse to go.
Oh, number 20.
Go ahead.
You on number 20.
Where that?
Because it's skilled.
It jumped.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And while you collect to number 20,
I'm glad you caught that.
yes, that
Yeah.
two.
That's right, it did jump on me. 20, yeah. I got 20, 21, 22. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when one's eye become aware of itself and become aware of its own existence, then it can understand to live is to learn. So you don't need books to know a person is mean. You live and you experienced it. Through your experience, this is what gives you the logic. From your experience of dealing with whatever experience you now have learned. And if someone is not truthful in those experiences, you can never learn. So to get with someone is a very, very sacred thing. Because you see, we're dealing with choice and we're dealing with oils. So most people don't live in an or situation. They live in an and situation. They would do it to you because you did it to them. They may not ask you why you did something, but they might do something out of despite that you did something. See, and these people transfer energies that can combust and explode. If you have any knowledge of science, you know gases explodes.
That's right.
And so we talking about thoughts colliding creates explosions. These play out as arguments and domestic violence and force. These things play out as side effects as not learning. Learning is the most valuable thing I have discovered for myself. I didn't learn from no book. I had to learn how to read to learn how to read a book. So you gotta, it's steps to everything. But before I was learning how to read, I was living life.
Yep.
And so my own living life knows that I know when I have to pee. I don't know when you have to pee. So growing up, people seem to forget these clear boundaries of self-cognition. And you supposed to tell me when I supposed to pee. And this is where the world is at now. If you ain't doing it this way, if you doing it that way, you wrong.
Yeah.
And now all men and women just following concepts made by weak men and weak women.
Yeah.
And this have destroyed the generation where we at now, where more people are greedier than ever. Most people are homeless now than ever. Most people are famine now than ever.
That's right.
And you're supposed to have the most technological advanced aid and assistance to aid humanity. Why is humanity more impoverished? Why is the individual keep claiming he's rising? He's rising because he can purchase things. Who tricked you that you could purchase life? Life is a gift. Do you know where you was before you was given life? And you come in life and have no respect of life. And now everything in life you ignore. I remember everything in my life. So why would I throw away what I learned in life and what I experienced? When I was young, I seen people do the opposite of what you come to find out is the right thing to do. Just like right now, we got something called Christmas coming up. If you want to see some devils, watch Christmas come around.
Yes, indeed.
Why? Because this is the sign.
Right on.
You got 364 days prior to this one day. And you don't choose no other day but the same cycle.
Yes, same cycle.
The same cycle. When you got unlimited choice.
Unlimited.
And you choose
Lockdown.
the choice of the sacred day that you saying is Christmas. And this is the only day that you claim to love. When what I'm talking about is eternal love from the beginning of your life all the way to the ending of your life. It don't stop. It's constantly thinking about you. But this is where false prophets they get everybody attention. Because money loves money and objects love objects, and people who can bring you objects can now persuade you. And now you can begin to worship these things. And this is why we are in the time that we in where you got to hear this type of truth now. Because people who came before you failed to do the truth. They know it just like I know it at the age I'm in and even younger. Because I've been doing this since younger. So now that I'm older, I'm more sharp. I'm more wiser. I'm more intellectual. What it should happen if you living and you experiencing and you actually taking notes. You're not passing by just going through technology, flipping the channel, just broadcasting your life and wasting your life away. Every moment, minute, hour, second is a choice. And I make a choice to stay with the teachings of Allah. And this is how I will pass form. When I transition, I will have full consciousness of my great creator. Because I put in the time for it. I'm not expecting anyone else outside of me to do anything I did. You have your own life and you have your life to live and learn. I learned from my life and I made adjustments and I honor the gift that was given to me called purity, intelligence, honorable, illustrious, noble, knowing. These are gifts bestowed that I would never reject for anything that a man has to offer. A man cannot offer this education. We have to understand this comes from divine intervention. The divine has stepped in and said, no longer is my people finna receive falsehood. Mm-hmm. It's time for 100% truth. Mm-hmm. With not 1.00901% of a falsehood in it. Mm-hmm. So all falsehood comes from man. And this is why you don't worship man. Because man himself is false. He changes and passes away. Mm-hmm. What I'm talking about don't die. It don't change forms. It don't change today. It don't change for tomorrow. It don't bend like the winds of change. This is eternal love that's stable, stationary, and ever permeating. Omnipresent, omnipotent, omnipotence. This is what we are, but we have not learned from the true teacher. Men are not teachers. Your divine creator is your teacher. Man did not make life. The creator birthed all things into life. When we love the trees, when you love the grass, when you love the simplest, smallest animal, then you can start loving the creation you in. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because we are in a communion right now. Mm-hmm. And I ain't talking about breaking nobody. No. I'm not talking the bread is the body and the blood is the wine. That is man's doing for you to worship a man.
That's right.
Allah gave you a body. Allah gave you blood. The Creator gave you all that you need to have a healthy living existence. The Creator didn't tell you that you have 70 years to live. Yeah. That is a man telling you that.
That's right.
You live as long as the Creator has appointed for you. And only the Creator knows that appointed time. Mm-hmm. So when we are speaking about living, people have lived over 100 years old. People are living 50 years old. Life used to be extensive where it increased all the way people live thousands of years. Yeah. But now in this time period that we in, because motion is in the universe. Mm. And so times have to come where life will be shorter. Mm-hmm. There's a reason, just like there's a season. Winter don't last all winter.
Mm-mm. Sure doesn't.
So you ain't going to be able to live a long life when the season and the cycle ain't built for long life. Mm-hmm. If you thought that technology is increasing this fast because you finna be around much longer, then you are a fool to yourself. Technology is speeding up so you can get the information to transcend this lower reality. And this is by Allah. Allah knows men has failed men. Men have failed women. So now the internet is here. So you can do everything at your own time, your own speed, your own conduct. You can interact who you want to. Because now it is open. Life been as open as the internet. But not all possibilities are here for all to become known of themselves, to see who they are and to know who they are and to live this life. And as we finna move to number 20,
Yeah.
that is the purpose.
20. To deny learning is to deny a purpose of existence and being. To deny learning. Well, you know, been to school and learned the golden rule. Have you prosperous behind that? That what you have learned. See, because you can have the wrong learning and the wrong teaching. I want to be crystal clear. Because a lot of things that people learn ain't so. And it's not right. It's insufficient. Most folks don't know who they really are. Do a survey and just walk up to people and say, would you tell me a little about yourself? Who are you? Just ask that question. Who are you? And listen at the result of what he's going to tell you. You'll be knocked off your feet. We don't even know what our purpose or why we exist. I ask them that question. What is your purpose? Why you were brought into existence? They'll say, go to school and go to work and get a job. That's what they're going to pretty much tell you.
I heard it. I have heard it.
People got jobs and their health is bad. People have jobs and their mind is bad. So we know what's insufficient and what's sufficient. And when you learn, make sure it's the right learning. Let's be clear on that. 21. But before we go to 21, let's go back to 20, because it said the purpose of existence and being. On the being part, you claim to be a human being. That's it. That's all you are, just a human being. You're bigger than that. How about that? Do you know why you've been called a human being? So you need to know all this. You done heard the word be, and it is be as in being. You exist, but you don't know who in hell you are. Ain't that a shame? 21. A man who refused to learn profoundly disrespect Allah. Some people just say God. Some people might say Jehovah. Some people might say just Lord. But this is what you're doing. You profoundly disrespect your divine creator by refusing to learn. You learn all that old hocus pocus stuff and all that old superstitious stuff. You learn all about that. You done heard this old saying, too much of the wrong thing and not enough of the right thing. This is your problem, and this is why you're sick and you're ill as will and your mind is ill. Ill will. 22 says, to learn right from wrong, good from bad, truth from falsity. My question to you out there in the internet land, no matter what your age may be, have you learned right from wrong yet? Have you learned the difference between good from the bad? And have you learned from truth to falsity? Let me say this right here. Somebody lied, documented it, and put in the history book that Christopher Columbus discovered America. We're talking about right and wrong here now. And we're talking about good and bad now. And we're talking about truth and lies here now. Do you have it right or do you have it wrong? Do you know the good from the bad? And do you know the difference from truth and from falsehood? And let me remind you that this society will tell you a lie and stand behind it. That's why it's crystal clear that it said that you need to know, you need to learn. 23 goes on to say to learn how we might overcome our difficulties. Have you overcame your problems in life? Or they still have you bound? And it seems as though there's no way out. We as what they call us Black Americans, and they call us Afro-Americans, and they call us colored folks, Negroes, and the list goes on. My question to you, to all the name callers, have you overcome your difficulties? And if not, this is why. Because you haven't learned the truth. Did you hear what Jesus said? He said, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Until then, you will be bound with lies. And your difficulties will mount up and stack up. And you wonder why you burden down. And have the audacity to sing the song, burden down, Lord, since I laid my burden down. "24, 2 more to go." We talking about choice here. 24 said, truly, not wrongfully, but it said truly, before we can learn, we need to learn how to learn. Ain't that beautiful? Just think on that a little bit. Because I'm going to read it again. And so you can get it, let it soak in, let it marinate a little bit. Truly, Before we can learn, we need to learn how to learn. How many people out there today done learned a little something, but do they know what they done learned? Because it's gonna tell on you. Whether you done learned the rightful thing or the bad, the wrong thing, it's gonna tell you. Why you think you become with high blood pressure, poor circulation, constipation, headaches, heartaches, backaches? You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Is that what you done learned? You ain't learned what to put in your mouth and what not to put in your mouth. There's a such thing called cause and effect. And whatever you stick in that big mouth, there's gonna be a consequence that come along with it. Let us hastily get the true learning and not the false learning. Let us get the true scriptures and not the false scriptures. Last one, 25. And before we can learn how to learn, we need to unlearn. Now that's where I find the biggest of our peoples, melanated peoples. This is what we need to do. All that BS that we have learned, we need to unlearn so we can learn, because I'm here to tell you, I've learned more the last 12 years than I did the whole 60. And this is what I done. I unlearned that what I had learned, because it hindered my health, it hindered my growth, it hindered my everything. Oh, you'll know when you get the right learning, because you will see an increase in a good development.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about choice.
Mm-hmm. And so,
the 41st name of Allah, and Allah's names mean choice. Get with it.
mm-hmm. And to the reason and purpose for learning is to become all-knowing.
Right on.
So if you don't have all-knowing, by the time that you die, you don't have all-knowing. This is what life was about, for you to live, to learn, to love life. And for me, my life like to be gone, so I take all this very closely. I don't play with myself. I don't play with anyone. I don't even hardly talk to many, because many ain't in this position. And the position is the love to believe in your creator through making your own choice. I make my own choice. And through this choice, learning has been the best thing to ever happen. And that's sitting down reading, right knowledge, right wisdom, and right understanding. There's so many great men who have came down and blessed America with some of the greatest teachings for us to understand, especially as youth growing into our eldership. Things you should know when you're young. A lot of families don't know what I was exposed to young. And so it gave me a lot of inclination into heavy spaces where people has not have even looked and peered into and don't even know about. And so great men that I'm helping people to understand what they saying in their teachings and what all teachers is pointing back to. I didn't make this universe. I didn't make this existence. I only followed the clear commandments of who we did. And I found the clear commandments. These wasn't just given. This comes from self-choosing to follow the clear commandments of the Creator.
Beautiful.
I've been waiting. I wish somebody would have had this text before me to bring this.
Beautiful.
But it wasn't their time and it wasn't for them. So when it comes to yourself, that's why I say don't believe, don't worship any of that. Because all that'll fail you at the end of the day. I know I'm going to be friendless because I care about truth more than any friend.
Beautiful.
And I don't do none of this stuff for money. I don't do none of this stuff for attention, no fame, no any of this. This comes from out of sincerity of the Creator's love. The Creator loved his existence and want the existence to know all of the truth. It's bigger than one man. It's bigger than one money. It's bigger than sending a cash out. It's about eternal life and the science of understanding self. And so when we coming into this, everybody that's birthing existence, you can't escape it now. So you got to deal with it as all great men have done with it. And as it said, learn. I have learned to overcome my difficulties. So the difficulties people face, that depends upon your learning. And so this is what's important. We need real experiences now. We tired of the Jonah story. Nobody did none of that. Walking on water. No, we need real beings who actually put in real work, who actually did the real life and actually got real wisdom that come from these experiences. And so you listen to someone who have practiced the teachings of the disciplines that comes with prophethood.
Beautiful.
That's not something you just read. That is something to read is a gift. If you can't read, that's why you can hear. And hearing comes from different apparatuses. And I know what people learning because you got questions. And so me, I always have questions. And so that's why I'm always learning. Because I always got questions. And every answer to every question I have asked has came. And questions are getting very small now. So as things is beginning to open up, they should open up for all. So I know I'm a portal for all to be open. And so all can come to KOS and get what you need. I wouldn't care. Just make yourself better, make this planet better, and make sure you make it to eternal life. Because it's bigger than death. But death is your key entry to what you did while you was living. As it say, you should know the truth and the truth should make you free. While I tell you today, believe me not or do. Death is the ultimate truth.